Right now, right here.
The Temple of Wisdom! Let the world collide!
Emerge.
Hate!
I swear by my sword. Right here.
Let my name echo in spirit! Yoo-hoo!
Emerge. Right now, right here.
I see everything! Sharing my knowledge!
I'm always watching. Emerge.
Everyone okay? Time to shine!
Barbados. Please. Come on now. Right here.
I see everything! Yeah! charge. Everyone hold hands. Share my knowledge.
Nothing lasts forever. Right now, right here. Show them, right now.
Everyone hold hands.
Seriously? But, Mr. Morris, I don't understand, sir. How could you only be telling me this now?
I'm afraid that there's nothing really I can do.
But what about my film?
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to come up with something on your own.
Oh.
Hey, isn't it Xavier?
Oh, why, if it isn't the dear Traveler and Paimon. Well, I was doing just fine until I received some terrible news just now.
Can't you just find a different investor?
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We had signed an agreement specific to the...
The Fontanalia Film Festival?
Oh, is this your first time? The Fontanalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights. The holiday is deeply connected to the founding of Fontaine, as well as its unique laws and trials. It's one of the most important festivals for this nation.
But what's with that weird expression on your face? It's like you're trying really hard to remember something.
I was just trying to recall the exact description from the books. In order...
Well, either way, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's just...
Yes, those are festivals of a similar variety. Who doesn't like it? To commemorate the Loch Knights, people will imitate them by putting on special costumes. But a few years ago, Lady Farina started to find the whole idea.
That really doesn't surprise me.
The whole thing seems more akin to a carnival now, and it's quite popular among the kids.
Oh, that sounds pretty fun. But how does...
Yes, it appears I've strayed off topic. The Fontanalia Film Festival is an event proposed by the Fontaine Film Association this year. Now that film technology... During this time, people may submit films to be evaluated, and...
The what award?
The Farina Award! You know, after the Hydro Archon. They coined it. Perhaps everyone still thinks of it as a pretty appropriate name.
Ah, alright.
Oh, but who would have guessed there'd be an issue with the funding? How will I ever explain this to Miss...
Shiori? Sounds familiar.
Yes, that's her. I asked her to oversee the event's art...
Oh, Paimon remembers now. Navia said that her clothes...
How to describe her? Well, she tends to be pretty direct. Her remarkable designs have led many Fontanians to become very interested. Anyway, Chiori is acquainted with all the actors I've invited from Inazuma. Without her help...
Who are the actors from Inazuma?
Why don't the two of you accompany me to the Aquabus? Judging from the time, the Aquabus...
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works. Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world. Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works. Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world. Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading. Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works. Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading. Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world.
chivalry will never die.
In the name of the Prinzessin!
You want me on your team?
I created...
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra.
Miss Chiori?
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. The Aquabus hasn't even arrived yet. Oh? And who are they?
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise! We've heard the owner of Chioriya Boutique is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Why, thank you. I strove to create an outfit that matched her high social station as the demoiselle. So tell me, what happened? I can tell the conversation didn't go quite as expected.
Ah, well, it's like this.
Ugh.
I know, Chiori, you don't have to say it. You did remind me that this investor was a little bit sketchy.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
But how could I pass it up? He offered me twice as...
And therein lies the problem.
Yes, but just put yourself in my shoes. After obtaining such... The budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front such a large amount of mora, so...
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up...
Oh, thank you, Paimon. That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is...
We need to move on. What's happened has already happened.
What? You're saying that you have...
No, that's not what I mean. The actors I recommended aren't just
Really? Then where do you live? We Malazines live in Mercy Village. The only way to enter is from underwater.
Oh, you must be pretty tired after work every day, right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home.
We are so thoughtful. But some Malazines choose to live in the Court of Fontaine because it's so much more convenient.
This is our stop.
Oh, we've arrived, but I haven't even finished chatting with Abel yet. I also enjoyed Abel's introductions to Fontaine along the way. Everything you described was so clear and detailed that we can't help but want to hear more.
Thank you so much. I'm usually working here on this aqua bus, so I hope I'll have the chance to see you again. There are still many more places I'd like to introduce to you.
Welcome to the Court of Fontaine.
Chiori, you sure have changed a lot. This is the first time we've seen you since you left Inazuma.
I haven't realized it's been so long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato clan visit us.
So they're who you meant when you said you had actors coming from Inazuma?
Oh? It's the Traveler and Paimon. Wow, what a coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film?
We just ran into Xavier earlier and came over with him.
But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
About that, I mean, how was I supposed to contact you? So I could only keep you in the back of my mind while I sought up.
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here. But you still managed to surprise me first.
Oh, so you all know each other already. My, what a coincidence. What are the chances everyone could be brought together here like this? Why don't we go to Hotel de Boer and catch up over a meal? I've already made a reservation.
Huh? Did you reserve 2 spots for us too?
Yes, of course, of course. I'll be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
Wow, the buildings in Fontaine are so tall. Just look at how big they are. And there's the fountain that Aval mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight. And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power? Wait a sec! Could it be one of those clockwork mecha we've heard so much about? Mr. Magician? How did you know which card I picked?
Oh, it's simple. Come closer, and I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
Really? Then, what am I thinking now?
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
And now you're getting a little flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out. You snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play. Now, that's not a good habit.
You can tell? Oh boy, you really can read my mind.
Of course. Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right? They must be worried about you.
All right, got it. Bye, Mr. Magician.
Hey, Lenny?
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you looking for me? What's the situation?
Well, why don't you guess, Mr. Telepathic?
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
I'm sure that child would beg to differ. Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions. That, plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty as sin. He made it easy for me. You guys, on the other hand... let me guess.
Wow! Got it in one!
Wait, really? No trick. His warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about that.
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom... So, Lenny, what are your thoughts on this infamous thief's... Angry?
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House.
Huh. What are the chances? Wait a minute, you don't think he's after you?
Well, if he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then the mere mention of the Weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of the... But I've been preparing for this for a long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big...
Really? So what you're saying is, we might get to see...
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor.
You're being far too modest, Lenny. I think your magic tricks are...
Thanks for the compliment. A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing. But there's... Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower. Just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now. 3, 2, 1.
It's good!
That's the question. Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear. If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there might be a surprise.
A surprise? Let me see! It's right there! But how? You haven't moved this whole time! What an outstanding trick! Sorry, Lenny, it seems that my previous praise was...
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to... Since Caesar's death, a lot of people...
I can imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed? For example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent... But you used a Lumido spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to...
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about florals. It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have...
Well noted. In that case, please feel free to get in touch. If there's nothing else, I'll be off. So, Lenny, are you gonna...
I'm...
Well, you feel it too, right? So itchy!
Not so itchy then, huh? Well, since you're so concerned...
Magician's assistants? Oh, that sounds fun! Assistants are technically magicians too. Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done. Shall we go for it?
Excellent. Thank you for... The first thing we need to look into is... But if he... And if we're investigating, we should make a move.
So this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it? It seems like you have to go through a lot more steps to make them. And the flavor has many layers too.
Yes. When I first went to Inazuma, I actually thought the food there tasted a little too bland. It took some time for me to get used to it.
Let's get back to the purpose of this trip for a moment, shall we? How have preparations for the film been coming along, Mr. Xavier?
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew. A lighting specialist, a prop manager, and a costume designer. I've also bought the copyrights from the novel's author.
Oh, it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script you sent me on the way here. The story is pretty good.
Originally, I was planning to start filming as soon as Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka arrived in Fontaine, but I'm afraid I've run into a bit of a problem.
Oh? What is it?
It has to do with the film's investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed me this morning that he's encountered some financial trouble and will be unable to release...
It said that Fontaine's legal system is...
Well, I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court, I'm afraid it would take months before...
Then, is there a...
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult to get...
Mr. Xavier, if Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that...
What? No, out of the question. To have you come all...
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier. My brother and I had actually intended to work for free after receiving your invitation. Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders, and needs to strengthen its relations and cultural ties with other nations. We didn't...
Indeed. You could say that's the real reason why the...
I understand, but having you two...
Not at all. While we're officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts, we must express our sincerity if we want to establish formal cultural ties. This film will serve as proof of friendly cooperation and cultural exchange between Inazuma and Fontaine. If you still don't feel comfortable with this arrangement, I would also be more than happy to be introduced to some other renowned individuals in Fontaine's literary and artistic circles.
All right. I'll do as you say. Thank you so much.
Come on now, no need to go that far. I'll also help you out as a brand sponsor.
Me too, even though I didn't bring much more.
You are too kind, all of you. I really don't know how to...
Ew. Alright, enough about that. Now that we have Xavier's... So, instead of Mora...
Oh, but how can we have...
Alright, pull yourself together.
All right. Let me think. I originally wanted to personally serve as director, but I've been too busy working as the producer. So the positions of director...
Paimon knows what the director and the logistics support person do.
The clapper loader is responsible for using the clapper board to record and organize the information of each shot. When the camera...
A clapper board? Oh, you mean the thing they...
Yes, that's right.
For sure! Paimon's always...
Alright, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from...
Oh, fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of letting the...
Oh, she's great when it comes to using a camera. Paimon can't even...
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the Traveler had an...
I'm sure that's due to the Traveler's journey across Teyvat and all the places they've seen. After...
What do you say, Traveler? Are you interested in the job? Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Come on, friend. Let me give you a big warm hug.
So, all that's left for us to find is a director and...
Oh, me! I want to be the director's assistant!
All right, then all we need is a director. Oh, all the well-known directors in Fontaine are...
Oh, Farina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic consultant. She could be a good director, right? Besides, it's not like she has anything else to do right now.
Do you really think Lady Farina...
Isn't that the name of Fontaine's Hydro Archon?
Yep, that's her. She helped out a theater troupe...
Well,
I saw that musical. Her performance was perfect. And don't let her former identity intimidate you. She's the best candidate we can think of right now. You'll never know until you...
Fine. You're right, Shiori. Then I'll have to ask the Traveler and Paimon to show me the way to Lady Farina.
Do you need us to also come along?
No, there's no need to trouble you with this. Besides, you just leave this task to me.
Very well.
I'll go with you.
And don't worry, we won't simply...
All right, then I'll... I recall...
Huh? Can't we just...
but wouldn't that be a...
Isn't the Fontanalia Festival happening right now? To do something like that...
I agree with Yoimiya.
Alright then, look...
But will that really be enough? We'll be...
You're right. We need to...
Huh? You want something even sweeter?
Yes. We'll need a gift that's sweet...
Well, what could that be? Okay, I'll go knock on the door. Who are you?
Lady Farina, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Xavier, a film director.
Hello. Oh, is that the Traveler and Paimon I see behind you? And who's this?
I'm Chiori.
Ah, the one from Chioria Boutique. Hello, hello. So, what are you all doing here? Do you need something?
Did you just get up, Farina? It's already past noon, you know. Huh? Oh, Paimon means the weather is so nice in the afternoon and the sun is so warm. Just like how you make us feel. Sleeping in late is a really smart idea.
No. I was just up late last night reading some novels. What does sleeping in have to do with the weather?
This is a small gift we've prepared for you, Lady Farina. We hope you like it.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a regular person like everyone else now. Oh, is this Fontanalia mousse? It's one of my favorites!
That's great! So, actually, there's something we need your help with. Given your renowned passion and understanding of drama, I would like to ask that you serve as the director of our film crew.
Oh, but didn't you just say that you're a director?
Yes, but for this particular project, I'm mainly working as a producer. Besides, I'm sure that your understanding of the performing arts far surpasses my own, Lady Farina.
Are the Traveler and Paimon also part of the film crew?
Yep, we sure are. Paimon's the clapper loader and she's the camera operator.
Camera operator? That can be a pretty technical job, and it directly affects the final quality of the film. Are you really up to it? No, I'm not questioning your abilities. It's just that I've never really seen you use a camera before.
Maybe you can come up with a test for the Traveler and see for yourself. If she can satisfy you with her camera skills, then you'd have nothing to worry about and can join the team. What do you say?
You sure are getting better at rolling with the situation, Paimon. Oh, I do wish to see how skilled the Traveler really is with a camera. Alright, how about this? We'll work with what we have. I'll give you some scenarios and see if your work is up to my standards. Very good. It's essential for the camera operator to understand the director's vision. I'll make my decision after seeing your work. Are you ready? I have high standards, you know. Okay, grab the camera and I'll give you a scenario. appears that you have more. All the shots had a great composition, and I could really feel a
Yeah! Does that mean you agree to be our...
Did you think I would agree just like that? In fact, I've already had several troops approach me for the Fontanalia Film Festival. And if others were to find out I agreed to work with...
Hey, but didn't we have a deal? What else do we need?
Well...
Huh?
You know, how much you're willing to pay me to be the director.
Well, I can offer you this much?
What? That's all? If Nervilat were to hear of this, he could charge you with underpaying your labor.
I'm sorry, but our crew is in a tight financial spot at the moment.
I see. Well, even though it's highly unlikely now that I'll join your crew, there's still something I'd like to ask. Exactly what film are you planning to make?
Oh, our script is an adaptation of The Two Musketeers.
Huh? Wait, you mean the suspense thriller novel that was a #1 bestseller?
Oh, so Farina's read it too.
Of course I read it. I've always had a keen interest in artistic works that strike a chord with the populace. I see. It all makes sense now. You must have used most of the budget to pay for the copyright.
Not really. The novel's author transferred the copyright to me practically for free once he heard that I wanted to make a film adaptation of the story. The lack of budget is due to another issue.
He probably just wants to get his name out there. So, Mora isn't the most important thing to him right now. It reminds me of a delivery courier who wears one of my designs while traveling all across Teyvat. I didn't charge her much for the outfit either. The exposure she provides for my brand is well worth it.
So, are you a big fan of this story, Farina?
Well, it's alright. The pacing of the story is good, but the character relationships could use some work. When I was reading it before, I always felt like some things were left on a rather unsatisfactory note. I have high standards, you know. Ahem, Mr. Xavier, if, hypothetically speaking, I agree to be the director, how much freedom would I have in terms of script revisions and creative interpretation?
Oh, as much freedom as you would need. I wouldn't dare doubt the tastes of Fontaine's greatest star.
Good. Then I'm free to alter the script as I see fit?
Absolutely, no problem.
All right. It seems that your crew really can't go on without my care and direction.
So, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Although the pay is well below what someone of my caliber deserves. A great script calls for a great director. I mustn't let a perfectly good story be ruined due to lack of funds. If you have fine cheese and bread, you wouldn't just let it sit on the counter and get moldy just because you lack an oven.
Oh, Hydro Archon above! I'm not dreaming, am I?
There's no more Hydro Archon, you know. And it's still a little early to celebrate. There's a lot that goes into shooting a film. Although the trickiest tasks of finalizing the script and casting the actors have already been taken care of, we'll still need to reserve filming locations. Not to say set up lighting and props. And by the way, since we'll be filming The Two Musketeers, we'll need to find an action choreographer. Ideally, a professional who has actual experience with muskets.
Yes, I've thought about this as well. I was hoping that you might know someone who could handle the job.
Me? If this was before, I could have simply asked Florand. But it's already been some time since I last talked to her. Navia can also use firearms. But unfortunately, her style is quite different from that of the characters in the story.
Could we ask the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol?
Oh, you mean the Special Patrol's musketeers?
Yes, that's right. They work with muskets every day. I can't think of anyone more qualified than them.
They would be under Nervilette's jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I, don't have any connection with them at all. So, in the end, we still have to start by talking to Nervilette.
No need to go to all that trouble. I know their Captain Chevres.
Oh, you do? Wait, Chiori, how do you know the captain of the Special Patrol's musketeers?
No particular reason. Running a business means dealing with some trouble from time to time, and she's helped me out on a few occasions. In return, I've helped her handle a few situations in which the Special Patrol couldn't get involved directly. So, we've gotten to know each other over time.
So you're saying there's been times when the Special Patrol needed a fashion designer to handle a situation? Your work is becoming more and more—
It'd be best to keep it that way. Anyway, enough about—
She sounds professional enough. She is a captain after—
But I imagine the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol must be busy with their...
Well, it just so happens that she's also not the kind of person that's just after Mora. As for whether she has time...
Then I'll leave that—
No problem.
Of course, I'll be sure to I didn't ask for the clapper loader—
Then let's get going.
By the way—
Actually...
What? It seems the god—
Outlines it. Huh?
Oz, repeat! Scatter! Go in! I summon thee!
Let's light it up!
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Witness the power of the wild. Rain outlines your fate. Huh? Teamwork is trick.
No rest for the weak.
Let's light it up! Let me read your way. Huh? Up.
By royal decree!
Adventure time! Everybody stand back!
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Time to... Teamwork is dreamwork! outlines your fate. Know my sword.
Germinate! Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Let me leave you a rest. Rain outlines your fate. It's time to pull the...